Queen Elizabeth II sat on the throne for over 70 years, making her the longest reigning British monarch in history. In that time, she amassed a huge fortune and many priceless possessions. So, now that she's passed, what does the royal family stand to inherit? Number 1. Her tiaras and crowns. Since Queen Elizabeth was, well, a queen, she had a lot of tiaras and crowns. Many of these pieces were part of the Crown Jewels, a historical collection that technically belongs to the monarchy and not the queen herself. But the queen had her own personal crown and tiara collection. The largest tiara is the Deli Dubar tiara, which was made for her grandmother, Queen Mary, in 1911. While the queen never wore the tiara in public, she lent it to Camilla in 2005. Since Camilla is the new queen consort, it's likely she'll inherit the tiara, which is estimated to be worth almost $10 million. Another notable diadem is Queen Mary's Lover's Knot tiara, worth about $1 million. Queen Elizabeth passed it on to Princess Diana when she married Charles, but after their divorce, Diana returned it to her mother-in-law. The tiara is now a favorite of the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, and some people think there's a good chance she'll receive it in the will. Kate may also inherit the Queen's Cartier Halo tiara, a tiara with 1,000 diamonds worth $1.7 million. She wore it as something borrowed to her wedding to Prince William. Number 2. Jewelry. The Queen's personal jewelry collection isn't just crowns and tiaras. Altogether, it's worth a whopping $110 million and features fabulous earrings, necklaces, rings, brooches, and more. The 300 pieces include jewels handed down from Queen Mary and Queen Victoria. Radar Online reports that Meghan Markle probably shouldn't expect much, but Kate should. Back in July, their sources claimed the Queen made last-minute changes to her will and was rethinking who deserved what. These insiders guessed that most of the jewels would go to Kate because she was clearly the family favorite. They added that this favoritism caused Camilla to secretly resent Kate. But Page 6 had an entirely different story. They claim the Queen may follow in her mother and grandmother's footsteps and bequeath all her jewelry to the new monarch, King Charles. Whatever happens, you know there's going to be some jealousy. Number 3. The throne. For a long time, there was talk that the crown would skip Charles and go directly to William. But it looks like that wasn't true. Charles wants to be king, and since it's his birthright, it's definitely happening. A royal expert tells People magazine that 73-year-old King Charles III has waited for this day for a very long time, and he's convinced he can do a good job. There's no way he'll abdicate for his son. The expert adds that Charles will probably be crowned in a year because it's considered unseemly to have a coronation ceremony right after someone's passing. The royal family must respect the Queen and provide a long period of mourning. Number 4. Her castles. Like the Queen's jewelry, some of her castles belong to the monarchy, and others were her private estates. Her private properties include Sandringham House in Norfolk, England, and Balmoral Castle in Scotland, where she recently passed. Chances are King Charles will get both. He'll also get to choose to live in royal residences like Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle, which are both owned by the Crown. Before the Queen's passing, experts guessed that Charles would probably keep living at London's Clarence House when he becomes king, since that's where he and Camilla have resided since marrying in 2005. But it looks like he'll actually be relocating to Buckingham Palace. One thing we do know, now that Charles is trading up, he's bequeathed his private Duchy of Cornwall estate to his son, Prince William. Created in 1337 by King Edward III, the estate is said to be worth $1.3 billion and boasts 140,000 acres in southwest England. Not too shabby, Will and Kate. Number 5. Royal titles. Now that the Queen has passed, many royal family members will get new titles. Obviously, Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla are now King and Queen Consort. Prince William and Kate Middleton will keep their titles of Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, but will also inherit the titles of Duke and Duchess of Cornwall from Charles and Camilla. New titles to match that amazing Duchy of Cornwall estate. Kate and William's kids' titles have also changed. Now they're the Princes and Princess of Cornwall and Cambridge. And 9-year-old Prince George is now second in line after his father to become the next British king. Number 6. New titles for Archie and Lilibet. Things get a little fuzzy when it comes to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's kids, Archie and Lilibet Mountbatten-Windsor, mainly because of the recent drama concerning their move to America. If they want, the kids can now technically be referred to as Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, but so far their titles haven't been updated on the official royal website. The King's spokesman said the site would be updated when the King has more information. So it's possible that King Charles could revoke those titles. Maybe he's waiting to read what Prince Harry writes about him and Camilla in that upcoming biography. Number 7. Her Corgis. Royal wills are kept private, but there's one thing we know for sure. Now that the Queen has passed, Prince Andrew and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson will be taking care of her beloved Corgis. Even though they're divorced, Andrew and Fergie remain on good terms and live together at their family home, Royal Lodge in Windsor. An insider tells people that the couple actually found the dogs when they were puppies and gifted them to the Queen. The source adds that Fergie bonded with the Queen over dog walking and riding horses, and even after she divorced her son, they would walk the dog together and chat. In her 96 years on Earth, the Queen was the dog mom to more than 30 Corgis and Dachshund Corgi mixes, known as Dorgies.
I know what you want.
Number 8. The Crown Jewels. Remember those crown jewels we mentioned earlier? Even though the royal ceremonial objects didn't belong to the Queen personally, ownership will be passed to King Charles III now that he's the new monarch. The 142 items that make up the crown jewels are estimated to be worth anywhere from $1 to $6 billion and are kept safe in the Tower of London. Number 9. Her money. The monarchy as a whole is worth about $88 billion. According to Forbes magazine, Queen Elizabeth was worth a fraction of that, but they guess that around $447 million of her own personal money will be going to her family. Some of that was inherited. Elizabeth got $85 million when her mother passed, and another $12 million from her husband Prince Philip. While it makes sense that King Charles will receive a lot of this money, a royal expert told the New York Post that actually Andrew was the Queen's favorite son, and she set aside a hefty portion of her fortune just for him. Money will also go to the Queen's other children, Anne and Edward. The big question is, will the Queen leave money for her grandchildren and great-grandchildren? Number 10. Her real estate portfolio. A large bulk of the Queen's income came from her impressive real estate portfolio. She received 15% of the profits from the Crown Estate, an independent commercial business that owns a collection of lands and holdings in the UK. Experts place the Crown Estate's land holdings at around $18 billion. Unfortunately for Charles, who will inherit his mother's real estate portfolio, the estate doesn't personally belong to him, so it can't be liquidated. However, 25% of the estate's annual profits are given back to the royal family. So, if you pay to visit Buckingham Palace or any of the castles or museums under the Crown Estate umbrella, a quarter of your money will go to the royals. Number 11. Racehorses. Like her Corgis, the Queen was passionate about horses and riding. At the time of her passing, she owned about 100 horses. Many credit the Queen's love of horses, racing, and breeding with keeping the sport relevant in the UK. She got her first Shetland pony, Peggy, when she was 4, and as she got older, she became a very talented rider. She also made millions of pounds betting on horse races. Not a bad side gig. It doesn't look like anybody else in the royal family shares Elizabeth's passion for horses, so currently it's unclear who will inherit these gorgeous animals. Number 12. Private art collection. Another one of the Queen's passions was art collecting. She was the proprietor of one of the greatest collections in the world, which is said to be worth $11 billion. It includes 7,600 paintings, 2,000 miniatures, and over 500,000 prints and drawings, not to mention furniture, ceramics, clocks, coats of armor, arms, and photographs. There are pieces of art by legends like Vermeer, Rembrandt, Leonardo da Vinci, and even Andy Warhol. Technically, the Queen's art is a royal collection, so King Charles will automatically be its new owner. Number 13. Her cars. Queen Elizabeth was a noted car enthusiast. Her collection of state and personal vehicles includes several Rolls-Royce Phantoms, some Land Rovers, and a Bentley State Limousine that was the second most expensive car in the world, estimated to be around $11 million. Well, can you blame her for going all out? She was the Queen. We don't know who will inherit her vehicles, but we bet William and Harry are eyeing them. Number 14. Her fashions. The Queen was known for her bright coats, hats, and handbags. Many think that her iconic looks will be given to fashion museums so that British citizens can see their former Queen's frocks on display. The rest may be preserved and documented for future historical reference. Some pieces may even be donated. Imagine finding one of the Queen's old handbags at a charity shop. Number 15. Stamp collection. Finally, the Queen's stamp collection. Maybe stamps aren't the most exciting thing on this list, but the royal collection is still pretty valuable. Experts estimate that it's worth about $110 million, not to mention the historical significance. It's called the Royal Philatelic Collection, and it's a collection of postage stamps from all across the Commonwealth. It's currently housed at St. James Palace in London. Because Charles is the new king, the stamps will likely be passed down to him. Since the world is still in mourning, it may be a while before we find out exactly what everyone inherited from the Queen. Which members of the royal family do you think the Queen would honor in her will? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to The Thing Celebrity for more on your favorite celebs.